2005 NEA Jazz Master Award goes to the late Artie Shaw, and accepting the award on behalf of Artie is the leader of the Artie Shaw Orchestra, Dick Johnson. Dick, the managing down for the Artist Club presents this fellowship award, along with the recently deserved title of the Jazz Master, to you on behalf of Artie Shaw. Thank you so much, Dick.
Thank you. Artie had me lead his band about 22 years ago, and you can imagine what it is with all us reed players when we were kids back around 1940 and 1941, 42, what we thought of Artie and Benny and all that. And so if I ever knew that I was going to be leading his band at that time, I would never be here today. I'd have been kind of so scared. But anyway, one thing led to another. I got to play some clarinet and some alto sax. Did a few records for Concord, and lo and behold, because of my manager, I got a beautiful letter from Artie Shaw said he'd like me to lead his band. Well, it's been unbelievable. He says to people, I left the band business because I had to play Begin all these times and stuff like that. He said, but Dick is a much nicer guy, and I never get dragged, I never get bored playing those things, because things like Temptation, you go back and listen to a couple of those charts and the way they were played, and they sort of get into you more. Maybe I'm getting a little soft in my old age, but I'm loving it more and more. And a couple of odd things about Artie Shaw, great odd things. And first, I know that Artie Shaw would thank you implicitly for this National Endowment Masters Award. And no one could be prouder than I, being chosen to accept it for. I am deeply honored and will never forget these moments. I wrote an article. It's sort of a weird thing. It just happened. I had no idea it was going to happen to Artie Shaw. And I wrote an article that you will hear right now, a few months ago, sent to various tabloids over the country. And I call it Artie Shaw, sort of a pun thing here, a major link in B flat. And thanks for the legacy. So I'll read it to you, if you don't mind. I'm a lousy talker. Artie Shaw was arguably the greatest jazz clarinet ever. Granted, he was much heralded for his playing, his band, and his recordings. However, he was never seriously referred to as one of the major links tying the swing era to the bebop era. Early proof of this is the 1938 band with its thousands of remotes from New York City, Chicago, LA, etc., etc. Artie's playing was very obvious. The following giants of jazz that I'm going to list, partially are the stalwarts I'm referring to, and I made it a point to have conversations with most of these players to bear me up alphabetically. Cannonball Adderley, Rolf Kuhn, Dizzy Gillespie, Art Pepper, Herbie Stewart, Lester Young, Charlie Parker, Ray Charles, Buddy DeFranco, Paquito de Rivera, Al Cohn, I said Charlie Parker already, I'm just going to say it twice, Lee Konitz, Buddy Rich, Zoot Sims, Mel Torme, Phil Woods, and many, many musicians everywhere. In 1940, David told you all about this thing, the strings got going, and he got put down by Tommy Dorsey, Benny Goodman, and Glenn Miller. But when the strings gelled, Tommy had them for Sinatra, Harry had them for Helen Forrest, Glenn Miller had them in the Air Force, and even Gene Krupa had them for a short time. Back to Artie, his biggest selling records had strings recordings, National Stardust, Moonglow, Dancing in the Dark, St. James and Firmly, and Concerto for Clarinet. Everyone knows those unsurpassable clarinet solos. Artie's hunch paid off in millions. Speaking of Stardust, I get many requests for a copy of Artie's chorus, to which I comply. One day I said, I'm sick of this stuff. I'm gonna Xerox about 100 copies, he does, so. And that's what I do. So if one can play it, bully for him. The string band, Artie went back to after the string band, went back to the 7 brass, 5 saxes, 4 of another great band. Then World War II, and you heard all about that from David. The Navy came back. And some of the guys in the Navy band were Conrad Gozzo was playing lead trumpet, Dale Pierce, Sam Donahue, Max Kaminsky was on trumpet, and Tak Tak Vori, if you remember Tak on trombone, those were some. And the drummer was Davey Tuff. That was funny because when he put the band together to go out to the Pacific, he tried to get Davey Tuff into the Navy. And so they looked at Davey Tuff and they said, "Are you serious?" And Artie said, "I'm very serious. This guy plays better than you guys look." So anyway, he finally got him in, and a little funny story there, they had one of the guys watch him every day because he had a penchant for juice. And so each guy had an assignment to watch Dave Tuff. Conrad Gozzo took him out one night, and Davey took Conrad home. So that's what happened. Okay, after 2 years, Artie was medically discharged from the Navy and came back. He had a great band together featuring Roy Eldridge. He made some beautiful jazz recordings such as Wonderful, The Glider, The Haunted, Let's Walk, Little Jazz, that featured Roy Eldridge. The band kept going musically and harmonically. Artie's last big band was 1949-50 bebop band. Musicians loved it. The masses hated it. Artie then threw in the towel, and you heard about the rest of the Gramercy 5 thing that he took up until '94. So just one thing I'd like to read here that's very, very important. Going back to the 49 band, Artie made a recording of the blues tune called Innuendo. Johnny Mandel wrote it. He took 8 choruses on this tune. The reason for that, they took 2 takes of the tune. And for the 4-piece, some of the best bebop clarinet solos I have ever heard. And the last one that I will tell you about is Ray Charles. Artie Shaw called me one day and said, "I can't believe this." He said, "Ray Charles wrote an article and most of it was about me." And it was on a book called Off the Record. I had it at home, and then Ray Charles writes an article. It was about 3/4 about Artie Shaw. And Ray's quote was, "Along with Art Tatum, Nat King Cole, and Charles Brown, Artie Shaw was my favorite soloist." Ray also stated, "On any given night, Artie Shaw was the greatest clarinet player in the world." What I'm bringing to the floor is, before has always prevailed. Folks, there is a galaxy of recorded jazz by Artie out there. Go and seek it out. You'll never hear clarinet playing like that. So thanks very much. Thanks very much for listening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you, Artie Shaw. I hope you're accepting this honor wherever you are. Thank you so very, very much.